I've always believed that everyone in a neighborhood should respect each other's space and decisions. But sometimes you get a neighbor who takes it way too far. That's exactly what happened with Karen. It all started with something as simple as replacing a fence, and somehow it turned into a full-blown neighborhood drama. This story isn't just about a fence, though. It's about boundaries, respect, and how one person's obsession can turn your peaceful life upside down. It all began a few months ago. I decided to replace my old worn-out fence. Nothing fancy, just a sturdy, functional fence to give my backyard some privacy. I wasn't trying to do anything out of the ordinary. I checked with the city, made sure I was within local building codes, and got the necessary permits. I thought I was doing everything right. But then Karen saw it. The first time she approached me, she looked at my new fence and immediately started criticizing. Her words were sharp and condescending. She said, "That fence is ugly. It doesn't match the neighborhood standards. You need to fix it." I was a little stunned. It was a basic plain fence, nothing out of place. I didn't see how it was ruining the aesthetics or property values. But she kept going. In many neighborhoods across the U.S., homeowners association rules are supposed to keep community standards consistent. And I get it. A well-maintained neighborhood is good for everyone. But I checked, and my fence was fully compliant with all local regulations. I wasn't breaking any rules. Still, Karen continued her rant, posting online, sending emails, and even making passive-aggressive comments at community meetings. I tried to ignore her at first. I knew my rights, I knew I followed the rules. But her attitude was relentless. She was sending me emails every day, insisting I repaint or tear down my fence. She claimed it was an eyesore, even though it looked perfectly fine. It was clear she was trying to bully me into changing something I had every right to put up. But then, things got worse. A few weeks later, Karen started showing up at my yard unexpectedly. I'd be outside and she'd come over, criticizing the fence again, making snide remarks in front of neighbors, trying to shame me into doing what she wanted. I told her I'd done everything by the book, but she just rolled her eyes and kept pushing. And then came her most bizarre claim. One day she knocked on my door, her face angry and eyes blazing. She said she couldn't sleep at night because my fence was an eyesore and that I had to fix it immediately. She threatened to report me to the HOA and even take legal action if I didn't comply. I told her I had every right to keep my fence as it was. I wasn't breaking any laws, and I wasn't going to let her bully me. That's when I realized this wasn't just about aesthetics. It was about control. Karen was trying to make me feel small, to make me tear down my property because she didn't like it. I refused to be intimidated. I told her I would keep my fence, and I would do what I wanted on my property. But what happened next was even more surprising. Over the next few nights, I noticed that Karen's attitude was affecting her sleep. It's strange. I know, but her constant complaining and harassment seemed to make her insomnia worse. She began making passive comments about my fence at neighborhood meetings, but her tone was different, almost desperate, like she couldn't sleep because she was obsessing over controlling my property. Honestly, it felt kind of satisfying. I wasn't trying to be petty, but I wasn't going to let her bully me into changing my property just because she didn't like it. I kept my fence exactly as I wanted. I even reached out to a local property lawyer to understand my rights better, just in case she decided to escalate things further. In the end, the neighborhood remained divided. Some neighbors supported me, seeing that I was standing up for my property rights. Others still looked at me with suspicion, influenced by Karen's rumors. But I learned an important lesson. Sometimes, standing your ground is the best thing you can do. If someone tries to bully you into giving up your property, remember you've got rights too. So for anyone out there dealing with a Karen or a neighbor like her, my advice is simple. Stay confident, know your rights, and don't let anyone make you feel guilty about your property. You have the right to enjoy your home, and no one should bully you into tearing down or changing what you've worked hard for. Thanks for listening. If you're in a similar situation, stay strong. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real stories and tips on dealing with difficult neighbors, HOA disputes, and boundary issues. Until next time, take care and stand up for what's right.